All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, classroom, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat, Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of Mashiach Malak Yahushua. A hearty, mighty Shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who go out there on the highways and byways, the apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, ministers who risk their lives to spread this truth in the face of adversity and in the face of evil men. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying. They're being diligent, abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to those men. And shalom to all of the sisters out there, the married, the unmarried, who tend upon the Lord without distraction, the children, the ancient men, and the rest of our nation scattered throughout the four coasts of the earth. Shalom, shalom. From Yeshua.
God, Shabbat Shalom. All praises to the Most High for another Sabbath, another day of edification, another day of repenting, getting yourselves in order, getting your houses in order, examining yourselves as we get closer into the day of the Lord. As we always do, we're going to start with Acts chapter 18 and verse 4.
It's the book of Acts chapter 18 and verse 4. And he reasoned in a synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right, another Sabbath service to persuade Israel, who knows that they're Israel, to continue in the law, statutes, and commandments, the faith, the brotherly love, the sisterly love, the charity, all things to magnify the name of the Lord. And to those just finding out that they're Israel, to compel them to come back to serving the Lord in truth and sincerity and forsake the ways of this world, right? Because it's nothing but death, destruction, woe, anguish, waiting for you once you leave this truth or once you forsake the words of the Lord. And the only way we can come back to the Lord is through Philippians 4:13.
It's the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me.
Right, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're able to cast down false doctrine, stand 10 toes down for the doctrine we have learned, and if it be the Lord's will, endure to the end.
That's right. I can get 2 Timothy, right, chapter 2 and verse number 3. Shalom, all Israel that's on fire in the last days, reading, praying, fasting, right, magnifying the name of the Lord. Bring that out, King.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Right, so it says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of his life. So everybody got to cast away all the affairs of your life, stand up for the Lord, read, pray, fast, magnify his name. It said, who have chosen him to be a soldier. So, I mean, men are chosen to be soldiers in this thing. So you got to cast away everything holding you back and put forth your hand to do the work of the Most High. That's right. And what goes into doing the work of the Most High? Let's go to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. We're going to start at the top, right? Revelation chapter 3, going into the 3 churches of Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea, right? So let's bring that up.
God. It's the book of Revelation chapter 3 and verse 1. And unto the angel of the church in Sardis, write, these things saith he that hath the 7 spirits of the Most High, and the 7 stars. I know thy works, that thou hast a name, that thou livest and art dead.
Read that again.
That thou hast a name.
From the top.
So like Revelation 3 and verse 1, and unto the angel of the church in
Sardis, right? So this is a church in Asia Minor, right? We all, if you don't know the background of this account, John was exiled to the Isle of Patmos, which was a prison camp throughout the Roman Empire for teaching the word of the Most High. The other 11 apostles were martyred in various ways, tortured, crucified, skinned alive, etc. John was remaining amongst those 12. Yahweh told John that he would tarry. We could go to John 21 real quick and 15. John was told by Yahweh that he would be alive and remain until the day of revelation, right? John 21 and 15.
It's the book of John chapter 21 and verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahweh saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?
Right, you love me more than these. Go on.
He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my lambs.
Right, so there's a requirement that comes with love. There's an action. Feed my lambs. Teach the flock. Go on.
He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee.
Peter said, Lord, you know that I love you. Read.
He saith unto him, Feed my sheep.
Right.
He saith unto him the third
The
time,
third time.
Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved, because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh saith unto him, Feed my sheep.
Read.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young,
When you were young,
thou girdest thyself, and walkest whither thou wouldest.
right, you can go wherever you wanted to go, right? You had the liberty and the freedom to do as you please when you were young. But things are going to change during the time of Nero, during the time of Domitian, right? What's going to change? Go on.
But when thou shalt be old,
When you become old,
thou shalt stretch forth thy hands.
what does it mean, stretch forth your hands? It's going to be crucified, right? That's what it means when you stretch forth your hands, right? Go on.
And another shall gird thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest not.
Right, meaning somebody's going to carry you and force you to go with places against your will on the cross. Read on.
This spake he, signifying by what death,
By what?
by what death
He will what?
he should glorify the Most High.
Read.
And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, Follow me.
And a lot of brothers want to follow the Lord, man. After the Lord told you, this is what the deal is, man. You're going to die soon. Follow me. Peter kept following him. Read on. Here's the point.
Come. Verse 20. Then Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple whom Yahushua loved following.
He saw John already following him, man. He turned about and saw John and said, what?
Which also leaned on his breast at supper and said, Lord, which is he that betrayeth thee? Peter, seeing him, saith to Yahushua, Lord, and what shall this man do?
And what is John going to do? If I'm going to die for this truth, what about John? I know y'all look tight. What about him, man? Go on.
Yahushua said unto him, If I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee?
You see that? If I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Meaning John is going to have to tarry and wait until Yahushua visits him on the Isle of Patmos. That's his lot. He said, what is that to you? That has nothing to do with you. You focus on you, right? Go on.
Follow thou me.
Right. He said, just follow me, man. Don't worry about what John got going on, right? That's his lot. This is your lot, man. And guess what it is, what it is. So that's why Revelation is here, because John was on the Isle of Patmos and tarrying until Yahushua would come and reveal particular things unto him. So that's what we find ourselves in the third chapter of these messages going out to these seven angels that were over these seven churches, right? So go back to Revelation 3:1.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 1.
That's the background behind this.
And unto the angel of the church in Sardis, write, These things saith he that hath the seven spirits of the Most High.
And what are the seven spirits of the Most High? Right? All of the angels, the host of heaven, on his right hand and on his left. Right? That's in Revelation, the 4th chapter. Real quick, go to Revelation 4 and 5. Right? So when it says the seven spirits of God, you just can't skip over things. Right? You got to, well, what is that? Then you have to go dig and figure it out or ask. Right? So bring that up.
Revelation chapter 4, verse 5. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices. And there were seven lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the seven spirits of the Most High.
Which are the what?
Which are the seven spirits of the Most High.
So those are all of the angels. Because the angels are pure fire. Right? Go to Psalms 104 and verse 4. Right? It says 7 lamps of fire burning. It's symbolic for the 7 spirits of God, because the angels are pure fire. Right? Bring that up.
Psalm chapter 104 and verse 4. Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire.
A flaming what?
A flaming fire.
So the 7 lamps of fire are the ministers of the Most High. Right? There are certain accounts, the Lord tells you that there are 10,000 times 10,000, even thousands of angels in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. So the 7 spirits isn't just, okay, well, that's Michael, I can name 1. Okay, Gabriel, okay, it's 2. All right, Raphael, all right, that's 3. Okay, Michael, okay, that's 4. Okay, then you got Satan. Oh, who's the sixth? No, it don't work like that, man. Right? It's just an indefinite amount of spirits that stand before the face of the Lord, man. So go back to Revelation chapter 3. So we know what the seven spirits are.
Revelation,
So the seven spirits of God.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 1, reading on, and the seven stars.
And what are the seven stars? The angels are the seven churches. Right? It tells you that in the first chapter. Right? That's Revelation 1 and 20. Revelation 1 and 20. Bring that up.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 20.
See, real quick, Revelation is one of those books that you have to go precept upon precept inside its own book. Certain books are like that. Song of Solomon is like that. Revelation is like that. Certain books, you have to go in that book and go precept upon precept in that book to break that book down. Right? Certain books, you may have to jump here a little, all the way, travel far to Genesis. You got to travel far to Isaiah. Revelation, a lot of it is in the law and it's inside Revelation. It explains itself as you read on. Right? So bring that up.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 20. The mystery of the seven stars, which thou sawest in my right hand, and the seven golden candlesticks. The seven stars are the angels of the seven churches.
See that?
And the seven candlesticks which thou sawest are the seven churches.
So now you know what the seven stars are and the seven angels. I mean, the seven stars and the seven candlesticks and the seven spirits. Right? So read on in Revelation 3.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 1, reading on. I know thy works, that thou hast a name, that thou livest and art dead.
And how can you be alive and dead at the same time? Right? The Lord said, I know thy works. That's the point. Right? Your works show me that you have a name and you're still dead. Because you can be in this truth and be in this knowledge and still be dead in your works. There's a lot of brothers that know that they're Israelites, but you can't tell. Right? What makes you dead? Not having a spirit. Right? You may be in this thing falling out. You don't read. You don't pray. You don't study. Right? You don't keep the commandments. You just know that you're Israel. That was the name put on you. Thou hast a name that thou livest and art dead. Go on.
Verse 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain, that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before the Most High.
Right, so now you're being warned. Right? Now you have to be watchful. Right? Being watchful is not always going into the prophecies. That's a part of it. Watching the global events, watching the current events and seeing what the Most High is doing on the earth, looking up the times and measuring to see if there's earthquakes and wars and rumors of wars and seditions and race wars and bombs dropping and famines and fearful sights from heaven. Those are some of the things that you have to watch out for. But the Most High is telling you, what does he ask you to watch or be watchful about? Who brothers say? No, in Revelation 3. Watch over your spirit. Really, he's talking to the church. It's a body, huh? Right? He's talking to them as a collective, as a whole. And y'all are in this thing, but y'all works don't really show. Right? So read Revelation 3 and 2 again.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 2. Be watchful.
Be watchful
and strengthen the things which remain, that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before the Most High.
And some brothers think their works are perfect. This applies to every one of us, man. None of our works are perfect before God. No brother has read enough, taught enough, fasted enough, prayed enough. You understand? You haven't done enough. We haven't done enough. I haven't done enough. Our works are not perfect before the Most High. So we have to strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. Right? It's like a brother with older people, they get something called muscular dystrophy. Brothers heard of that? When your muscles slowly start to break down and wither away. And you can't really, people that have strokes usually get it, or people that are numb and paralyzed, or they're in comas and they haven't used their muscles for a long time. And if you don't train that muscle or keep walking or keep doing some type of physical therapy, that muscle is going to give out on you, man. And it'll become completely, I can't think of the medical term, but it'll become completely useless, man. It'll lock up on you and never use it again. Right? So you have to constantly stay in motion in this truth, or your body, your spiritual body, will lock up on you, man. That's comprised of different members, man. You got the legs, you got the arms, and every member of the body has to be strengthened. Because if that member is not checked, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12 real quick. Then it'll fall, huh? Right? Just like your eyes, the water. Okay, see that? The brother looked it up. All right, this is a big word. All right. Rhabdomyolysis, right? If I'm pronouncing that right. It's a serious medical condition that can be fatal or result in permanent disability. Rhabdo occurs when damaged muscle tissue releases its proteins and electrolytes into the blood, right? You see that? So it happens when you're not training your body, man, right? Your body starts to shut down on you. Real quick, go to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, and I want to get straight to the point, right? So, let me get there. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and go to verse 21. Start at 20.
1 Corinthians
19.
1 Corinthians chapter 12
18.
and verse 18. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them in the body, as it hath pleased him.
Remember this, he's talking to the body of Corinth, right? And you had bishops over all of these churches. You had a bishop over Pergamos. You had a bishop over Sardis, right? Remember, Timothy was a bishop. He was the first bishop of Ephesus. Titus was a bishop in Crete, right? So they had different members. He's telling that entire body, be watchful. Y'all are falling off, huh? Go on.
Verse 19. And if they were all one member, where were the body?
Right.
But now are they many members?
What the Lord say?
But now are they many members?
Read that again.
But now are they many members?
Right.
But one body.
Right. Yet, but one body. So you got different members. You may have a congregation. You may have brothers that make flyers, right, and posters. You may have a brother that teaches. You may have a brother that gives alms. You may have a brother that makes garments. And if any one of those members start to fall off, you got to check it, man, and start strengthening that body. If you don't check it, it's going to fall apart. Right? Go on.
Verse 21. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you.
Right?
Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary.
Are necessary. Every member is necessary. Right? And individually, you got to look at yourself, man. Each one of your members represent a different component of the truth. Right? Your hand could represent your studying. One hand could represent your reading. One arm could be brotherly love. Another arm could be you meditate in the scriptures. One leg could be how you deal with your family. And you have to look at each one of these members, man, and see which ones are you not checking on, man. Because if you don't check on it, and if you don't exercise those muscles, and that body part is going to die, and it's going to fall. What happens if you don't read for 1 week? You're going to forget a lot of things. What else going to happen? Spirits start falling. All right, what happens if you don't check yourself after 1 week? What happened 2 weeks without reading? You might just fall back in the world. 1 month without reading. What you going to end up being? A nigga.
Right.
Right? So if you don't check that spirit, you got brothers that don't read in 4 days. I'll be okay. Brother, that member is dying, man. Look at your body. Stop moving. It's like you walking. I got a limp. Right? No, it ain't nothing. It ain't that bad. Brother, you need to get that checked out. I'm cool. I'm all right. 3 weeks go by. Now the brother got crutches. Brother, you need to get your leg checked out, brother. What the hell are you doing? I'm cool. I'm all right. Running in the family. Right? Then the brother, next thing you know, you see him here in a wheelchair, huh? Spinning. And, come on, I'll get your leg checked. I'm all right. They gave me a wheelchair. I got insurance through the state. Next thing you know, the brother in the hospital, bedridden, huh? And they got to decapitate both his legs, right, because he didn't check it when it first started, man. And that's what it's about, constantly watching over your body, man, and checking on seeing what ailments you have and infirmities and getting it from the root, man. It's like you got cancer. If you don't check it when it first starts, it's over. Look, if you would have came 1 day sooner, then we would have saved your life. And that's how it is in this truth, man. Right? You take 1 day, could be the last day. All right, so let's go back to Revelation 3. So that's what it means Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. So let's go on.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 3. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee.
All right, read that again.
Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard.
And what helps you is the counsel that the Lord gave you. Remembering how you received this truth, man. The spirit you had when you first heard about the truth, man. The joy that you had, the excitement, Slaki, you had, the enthusiasm you had, man. Brothers all used to binge watch when you first came to the truth, man. Right? You was excited when you ordered your, I'm ordering my 1611. Right? I got my fringes. Every brother was excited when they got their fringes, man. Now you don't even look at them. You got a whole bunch of shirts with fringes on them, man. And you don't even look at your fringes anymore, man. Right? You don't have that same passion and enthusiasm that you had when you first came to the truth, man. You're just going through the motions. It's like a chore. Oh, okay, I gotta go to camp. Oh, god damn, man. You put your boots on, they half untied, the shoes on the wrong feet. You go to camp and your hands in your pockets, and you gotta grab the sign backwards and it's upside down. You don't know what's going on, and they breaking through the camp, and you just come through the camp. You got a demon ready to come through the camp, you just let them through, man. You don't even care anymore, man. I don't even know why I'm here. You used to read mighty, now you just read like this. Revelation chapter 3. And the angel of the church in Sardis, right? These things says he. Right? So your spirit is off, man. Right? Your spirit is off. Go to go to Nehemiah. I brought this up earlier. I got a quick precept. Nehemiah 8 and 10. One of my favorite precepts in Nehemiah. All right, we brought it out earlier. Right? Nehemiah 8 and 10. You got to ask yourself, man. All right, do you have the same excitement you had that first week you came into truth, man? And if you can confidently say yes, all praise to the Most High. If you say no and you honest with yourself, well, we all got work we got to do, man. We all got work we got to do. Right? The brother did a lesson, remembering your first love, man. And go exactly into that same spirit. Bring that up.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10. Then he said unto them, go your way, eat the fat, and drink the sweet, and send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Lord. Neither be ye sorry, for the joy of the Lord is your strength.
What the Lord say?
For the joy of the Lord is your strength.
Read that again.
For the joy of the Lord is your strength.
We brought out earlier. I'm saying it again. You're only as strong as the joy you have in His truth. That's how strong. That's how you measure your strength. One of the ways of measuring your strength is how joyous you are when it comes to serving the Most High. That's how you know if you're feeling mighty in the spirit. See, you can't just say I'm feeling mighty in the spirit and this truth is a chore to you and it's burdensome. You can only say I'm feeling mighty in the spirit, man, if you're joyous to do the work of the Most High. Right? So this is how you can discern, like we went into yesterday, who serveth God and him who serveth him not, based off of the joy you have in His work. And you can tell if a brother's joyous based off of his fruits, man. Right? You got
God, that goes back to Deuteronomy 28 and 47, man. That's why these curses fell upon us, for not serving the Lord in joyfulness and happiness, man. And that's where a lot of brothers got to start examining. Am I truly happy to keep the Sabbath? Am I truly happy to labor for the Lord and present my body as a living sacrifice? Right? Let's go to Titus chapter 1 and go to verse 9. Right? So this epistle was written to Titus on how to build up the church and how to establish things in certain order, right? Because during an establishment of getting things in order, what do? You have chaos. You have people wanting to do their own thing. You're going to have seditions. You're going to have men that backtrack and fall back, right? But it's also a time to rebuke and also put into brothers and sisters remembrance that this is what we're here for, to get that crown of life, right? You can start at verse 9.
Titus chapter 1 and verse 9. Holding fast the faithful word as ye have been taught, that it may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers.
So these faithful words that we learn, we're supposed to be able to exhort and to convince the people who may be waxing worse, who are ready to die, who don't see the greater picture of the kingdom of heaven right at the finish line, right? Keep going, King.
Verse 10, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision.
So even those who know that they're Israel, who came back to serving the Lord, they're going back to the unruly, gainsaying ways and being outright wicked. Like the brother said, you don't read, you turn into a nigga. Being a nigga in the truth, and you're of the circumcised, man. Right? Keep going, King.
Verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses.
And whole houses. The church is a house of the Lord. So that vain, unruly speech, it overthrows the whole church, right? It throws the whole church upside down, right? Keep reading, King Bobby Shaw.
Teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake.
Right.
One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said the Cretans are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies.
Right. So you have a reputation in this truth, right? You can be an evil speaker. You can bring much wickedness to the church. You can cause the church to be built up, or can cause the church to be cast down, right? 2 more verses.
Verse 13, this witness is true.
So this witness is true right here.
Wherefore, rebuke them sharply.
What are you supposed to do?
Rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in faith.
And that's what Revelation, the 3rd chapter is. This is a rebuke so that they know that the Lord is coming like a thief in the night. And if your works are BS before the Lord, you're going to be destroyed. Right? You can't say that you're presented in a white garment, but it's really beige and dirty and dingy. Right? So you have to rebuke them sharply so they understand, right? Because it's a different type of rebuke when you're of the circumcised heart. Right? You can get on people hard. Your speech can be rude. So you understand that some you got to say with fear. Sometimes you got to be a jerk. Right? The elders in GMS made a video, learn to be an asshole pretty much. Sometimes the brothers in the truth and the sisters in the truth need to be rebuked sharply to save them with fear.
That's right. Let me get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 2. So you got to remember the Most High, man. If you forget the Most High, you're going to stop caring. You're not going to have that same love, that same zeal. You're going to slowly fall out of the truth. Bring that out, King.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 2. Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith the Lord, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth.
Right, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth. Read.
The love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness.
The Lord said, I remember when you used to go after me in the wilderness. Now we don't go after the Lord anymore, man. We go after our lust, our flesh, slothfulness. We don't care anymore. People not on fire. And the Lord said, I remember when you used to care. We used to follow behind me. We used to follow after my footsteps. Read on.
In a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto the Lord.
When we used to follow the Lord, that's when we were holy. That's when we were directed and carried. Read.
And the first fruits of his incense, that's like of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord.
All right, go to Jeremiah chapter 13 and 15. So it's very important not to let, your members to die off, man. And that's mercy that the Lord even gives you the opportunity to feel them dying off. Because you could just wake up one day and just don't care. It's not even a spirit that comes upon you. Should I read it there? Oh, no, I didn't read it yet. That's mercy, man. You even thinking like that. Bring that out, Kim.
Jeremiah chapter 13 and verse 15.
Right?
Hear ye and give ear. Be not proud, for the Lord hath spoken. Give glory to the Lord your God, before he cause darkness, and before your feet stumble upon the dark mountain.
Right. The Lord said, give glory unto the God, right? Before he caused darkness and before your feet stumble. So if you're not glorying the Lord, you better do that before he starts to darken up your path. You don't know where to go. Start to forget precepts. You don't know why you're showing up at camp anymore. You don't want to go to the feast days. You're treating your wife bad. And the Lord said, read that again.
Give glory to the Lord your God before he cause darkness, and before your feet stumble upon the dark mountains. And while ye look for the light, he turn it into the shadow of death.
Right, you're looking for light. You're looking for a blessing. You're looking for a way out, but you're not doing anything to receive those things. Read on.
And make it gross darkness. But if you will not hear it, my soul shall weep in secret places for your pride.
For your pride. And it's a powerful thing not to want to read every day or to examine yourself. Like the brother said, you know your back hurt, but you're too stubborn to go to the doctor. You know your ankle is busted or your wrist is crooked, but you're not doing anything right to heal it. Read 17 again.
Come on, Jeremiah 13, verse 17. But if ye will not hear it, my soul shall weep in secret places for your pride, and mine eye shall weep sore and run down with tears, because the Lord's flock is carried away captive.
All right, jump to verse 25.
Verse 25. This is thy lot.
Read that again.
This is thy lot.
It's a lot of men's lots to fall out of the truth, to stop caring, and let your body die off. And a lot of people, they have certain things and ailments and situations, that's their lot to be in a wheelchair. You got to ask yourself, is this my life? Am I bowing down to this? Read on.
The portion of thy measures from me, saith the Lord, because thou hast forgotten me and trusted in falsehood.
The Lord said, I'm going to give you over to a lot that was your lot from the foundation. Because why? It says, the portion of thy measure is from me, saith the Lord, because thou hast forgotten me. So you don't want to forget the Lord and enter into a lot of being destroyed, right? Your back hurting, you're forgetting precepts, your house is out of order, all because you're forgetting the Most High.
Come on, let's go to Hosea chapter 5, and you can start at verse 11, right? And this is a reoccurring theme throughout the Bible, right? A reminder unto Israel to come back to serve the Lord, right? Because all of us are nothing but wicked flesh. So it's our mind to go astray from the Lord, right? But you got to have that discipline, and you got to have the Akim and the Akwaf around you to keep you on the straight and narrow path, right? Because like they say, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And we're all babes in this truth, man. So we have to be the ones to help one another to get back on the path that we need to get on.
Hosea chapter 5 and verse 11. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment, because he willingly walked after the commandment. Therefore will I be unto Ephraim as a moth, and to the house of Judah as rottenness.
Right. So when you read Hosea, it's talking about, just all outright adultery, spiritual adultery, wickedness that we were in, right? Mainly the northern kingdom, right?
When Ephraim saw his sickness and Judah saw his wound, then went Ephraim to the Assyrians and sent to King Jareb. Yet could he not heal you, nor cure you of your own wound. Of your wound.
So once things start happening within your body, in your house, you go and seek other things instead of turning to the Lord. Right? You go to doctors. Right? You go to your homeboy who is what's a hypochondriac, always on WebMD, thinking they got something. Right? You turn it to every other source but unto the Lord. So when your house starts getting out of order, when you don't feel right in the spirit, the first thing you do is you turn away from the Lord, when you should be growing closer to the Lord, right?
Verse 14, for I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Judah. Even I, will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him.
Right, so the Lord is going to tear us to pieces when we're neglecting him. Right, that's wisdom of Solomon. The spirit of discipline is going to flee from deceit. Right, you're not going to have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And we all have been through it in this truth. Right, you may not read, you forget a precept, you forget a breakdown, you forget to call a brother that you said you was going to call. Right, these things start happening. But what happens?
Verse 15, I will go and return to my place.
So the Lord is going to depart from you. He's not going to dwell with you. You're not going to be in the same spirit. We were saying this last week. When you're around brothers, you can see a brother's face shining. He looks more lively when he's in the spirit. And when they're not in the spirit, they look dull. They look damn near dead. Right? Like a what? Like a Hamite. Right? You can see the brother's spirit. The brother will be glowing when he's on fire. Right? Brothers in here see it. You be like, hey, what you put on your face? Oh, nothing. Right? It's that spirit glowing off of them. So the Lord is going to depart from you to what?
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
So once all hell starts catching loose, not when you feel that first pain, right? You're like, oh, I don't need to go to camp. Oh, it's raining. I don't care. Oh, it's snowing. I don't need to be out there. It is what it is, right? But when all hell starts happening, then you want to turn back and seek the Lord, right? But you never know the mind of the Lord. It may be too late, right? You may have missed that opportunity to repent. So you have to be mindful, man. That's why it's always good to hear warning letters from other people, write these warning epistles, man. These things are very mighty, and they tie into your everyday life.
Comes. And to touch on what Amos just said too, I'm gonna get this quick precept. You get Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse number 12.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 12. When they fast, I will not hear their cry.
Right. So the Lord isn't always going to hear your cry all the time. Like the brother said, you may fast, you may repent, you may feel like you want to, okay, now it's time to come to the Lord, man. Right. I'm gonna start off Monday. That's what Jake be doing. I'm gonna start off Monday, my new week. I'm gonna be on fire. You can't say you're gonna be on fire next week, man. You don't know what's gonna happen. You could die, you could give up the ghost. Anything can happen to you, man. Read verse 12 again.
Jeremiah 14 verse 12. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offerings.
And a burnt offering, we're under the Yahweh shot right now. You may pray, you may want to dance, you may want to get your spirit together, you may want to offer up a spiritual offering. Read on.
And an oblation, I will not accept them.
No, I'm always accept.
I will not accept
The
them.
Lord said I'm not going to accept them. So the Lord doesn't change. It's not the God of the Old Testament, then the God of the New Testament. Read on.
I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence.
Meaning the Lord is going to give you over to confusion. Because when you want to call upon the name of the Lord, it's not on your time. It's what's acceptable to you. You're supposed to always magnify the name of the Lord.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Let's go to the book of Judges, right? Let's go to Judges, again, dealing with Samson, man. I love to go into this account. Judges chapter 16, and we can start at verse 19. We get straight to the point.
Judges chapter 16 and verse 19. And she made him sleep upon her knees.
This is Delilah, right? Made Samson sleep. When you read this account, she begged to know where he got his strength from. Tell me wherein your great strength lieth, right? And Samson's strength was the oath of him being a Nazarite to the Most High, right? The hair is carnal. The hair is not his strength, right? The oath that he made with the Most High was where the strength came from. The hair growing is just a byproduct of the oath, right? So go on.
And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him.
And his what?
And his strength went from him.
So he started getting weak. Now Samson, you know Samson's account, man. The strongest man. Ripped the lion in pieces, man. Right? Out of the mouth of the eater cometh sweetness, paraphrasing. Go on.
And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before.
I will do what? Salaki. Read that again.
Verse 20. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee.
She said, the Philistines be upon you.
Upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before.
What happened when Samson would go against the Philistines before? What would he do? Go to war with them and would kill him. Beat him down. He said, I'm going to do this like I always did, man. I know I'm mighty. I know I'm strong. This ain't nothing new. The Philistines are here. I'm going to do what I've always been doing. But what happened?
And shake myself.
And shake myself.
And he wist not.
And he wist not.
That the Lord was departed from him.
He didn't even know the Lord left him. Sometimes you don't even know, man. Like this link up with the ride was going into. You think you about to read, man, the Lord was, I can't wait, man, the Lord was up with me. The Lord already left you, bro. He's moved on. Right? It's like an unsalvageable relationship, man. Right? You in a relationship, you was beating up your woman and doing God knows what. I'm gonna finally get things right. You go buy some flowers and she's gone. Bags are packed. Right? All the stuff is out, man. You see that in movies, man. Some relationships get to the point where you can't save it no more. She's done. She's moving on. She was done the first 2 months, man. She was just looking for a way out. Right? Seeing who she could stay with, man. Right? So that's how wisdom is. That's how the Holy Spirit is, man. Samson didn't even know the Spirit left him. He was just going through the motions. Go to real quick. 2 Timothy 4 and 10. 2 Timothy chapter 4 and start at 9.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 9. Do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. For Damas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia.
Read.
Only Luke is with me.
Everybody's still with him.
Only Luke is with me.
He got the whole congregation.
Only Luke is with
There
me.
might be only one other brother with you, man. Demas left him. Demas used to be in the truth, man. He forsook the apostle Paul and went back into the present world, man. You got to check your spirit, man. You got to look at what are you always thinking about? Where are your thoughts at, man? Right? Does your job consume you? Does your woman consume you? Right? Does working out consume you? We know, brother, that he just couldn't stop working out, man. And he works out to this very day because that's what he gave his mind over to, man. There's no sin in working out, but hell no, not on the Shabbat, man. Right? So that spirit, check your spirit, man. The Lord said, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So it all starts in your mind. You have to be watchful over your spirit. Go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Right? You know who wasn't watchful real quick? Get one more account. Go to Genesis, the 13th chapter. Right? Here's an account of a man that wasn't being watchful. Go to Genesis chapter 13 and go to verse 9.
Genesis 13 and verse 9.
Here's Abram talking to Lot. Remember, they had so much wealth that they couldn't stay amongst each other. So here's what Abram said.
Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me.
Right?
If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left.
So they were fighting because they had too much wealth. They couldn't dwell amongst each other. Abraham said, wherever you go, that's fine. Because he knew that the Most High was going to be with him. Right? He had faith. Go on.
And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest to Zoar.
Right. So Lot saw the beautiful land. And what did Lot do?
Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other.
Here's the point.
Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain,
And what?
and pitched his tent toward
Oh,
Sodom,
he lived in Sodom.
and pitched his tent toward
Oh,
Sodom,
he was amongst the Sodomites.
and pitched his tent toward Sodom.
He pitched his tent toward Sodom. So what happened in Genesis 19? Where was he living? In Sodom. Right? If you pitch your tent toward Sodom, you're going to start living in Sodom. You got to watch over your spirit, man. How close are you to destruction? How close are you to sin, man? Your tent is your house too, man. Right? Where are you pitching your spirit towards, man? Right? How close are you to sin, to destruction and death, man? Right? Read that one more time. This is not being watchful.
Genesis chapter 13, verse 12.
Right?
Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan,
Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan.
and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain.
And then what?
And Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain,
Read.
and pitched his tent toward Sodom.
What else happened?
But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
See that? As sinners before the Lord exceedingly. Now go to Genesis 19:1, just to prove it.
Genesis chapter 19 and verse 1.
Right?
And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom.
Who was sitting in the gates in the ancient world? Elders, judges, top men, counselors, mighty men of old. So how do you go from pitching your tent towards Sodom? Now you're calling the shots in Sodom. Kind of telling people what to do, what not to do, man. Right? You got to check your spirit, man. Right? You can be in too deep. Now he in the gates. Not like he in the back somewhere. He kind of delegating what to do, what not to do amongst the Sodomites. Right? Go on.
And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the earth, so like toward the ground.
And that's it, man. That's the point. Check your spirit, man. Where are you pitching your tent towards, man? Right? How much time do you spend on social media? Right? How much time do you spend working out? How much time do you spend on video games or with your woman, man? Where's your time at, man? What are you pitching your tent towards, man? It should be to the tabernacle and the temple of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Right? Be watchful over your spirit, man. Ponder, the Lord said, ponder the path of your feet, man. So read that.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 4. Thou hast a few names.
Hold on, read 3 again.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 3.
Right?
Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast.
Let it go.
And hold fast.
Right?
And repent.
Now you got to repent. Go on.
If therefore thou shalt not watch,
If you don't examine yourself,
I will come on thee as a thief.
the Lord going to break into your house, meaning your body. And the Lord only want one thing as a thief. He want that Holy Spirit he gave you. He going to rob you and take that Holy Spirit from you and give it back to the Most High. Right? Go on. The Lord don't want your brain. Want his brain. I don't want his heart. The Lord is not some mad scientist, man. The Lord wants your spirit. Go on.
And thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee.
It's 2:21 East Coast. The Lord might come on you at 3:21. At that hour. 1 hour, 3:21, the Lord came and now this brother's falling out the truth. 4:21, now you back in the world. 5:21, you back at who you used to be, man. Right? Your name used to be Judah Gabar on social media. Right? Now it's real. Or you deleted your lion emoji, man, for a blood emoji. Right? You took out the APTTMH, man. Now you put West Side, P Block. Right? There's a brother's getting tattoos now, man. Used to be in the truth, man. Now he's getting tatted. These things can happen to any one of us, man. These are real accounts. Right? Married women. Now they're posting, I'm single. I'm back on the market. It's been so damn long. Right? Who wants some of this? Now these are real accounts, man. Daughters of Zion and the men of the Lord that used to be in the faith.
It was a brother who used to labor with us. He got confounded by an Old Testament only Israelite.
I think it's an Amalekite.
Amalekite
videos.
Got confounded. Then he became Old Testament only. Now he's a Christian online teacher.
You see that? And he went from not believing into Yahweh Shai, huh? Making all videos, diss videos about Yahweh Shai. Diss videos, like diss tracks, right? So you gotta watch over your spirit. This can happen to any one of us, man. Right? They know respect the persons with the Most High. Real quick, go to Acts 10 and 38. Okay. Right? The Most High is no respect the persons, man. Rather you've been in this thing 5 years or 5,000 years, man. It could be for any one of us. Because a lot of times we hear these accounts that can never happen to me until it happened to you, man. Acts 10 and 34.
Acts 10 and verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons.
Read that again.
Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth.
I mean, I ain't lying. Go on.
I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons.
The Most High is no respecter of persons, man. You've been in this thing 20 years. You don't read for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. You're not in the spirit. It's going to happen to the same brother that's been in this thing for 5 days, man. Anybody can get hit, man. Right? Anybody can get hit by the Most High, man. Right? Anybody could be in the crosshairs and have that red dot on them from these angels, man. Right? Any one of us, man. David went off. The Most High judged David. Solomon went off. The Most High told him, you're going to get judged, man. Uzziah went off. Died a leper in the halfway house, man. Right? These are kings, mighty men, the seed of David. Right? They all went off, man. Right? The Lord is no respecter of persons. The Lord put the spirit on a Pharaoh, told Josiah, this has nothing to do with you, paraphrasing, man. This is not your battle. God sent me against them. This has nothing to do with you. Josiah went to fight. The Lord killed him, man. Josiah. Right? And we're no Josiah in this room, man. We are no Hezekiah. Right? We are not these men, man. We are not David. These men, nowhere near. These men were mightier and stronger and more righteous than any one of us, man. And they all got hit by the Lord, man. Right? So we want to check our spirit and make sure we moving in the right, man. Right? Go on. You got it, King. You can get the book of Acts chapter 20 and verse number 9. And all of this goes into perceiving when you're falling back to sleep and fading away.
This is the book of Acts chapter 20 and verse 9. And there sat in a window a certain young man named Eutychus, being fallen into a deep sleep.
Right now, how is this man falling into a deep sleep while the word of the Lord is coming out, man? And the word of the Lord is on the highways and byways. It should be in your house, should be amongst your marriage, should be amongst the brethren. You should hear the words of the Lord 24/7, man. Should always be reading, always catching up on a video. And how are you falling asleep when you're hearing the words of the Lord? And on a deeper level, how does the Lord sound? Like a fierce man of war, very loud, man. That's supposed to wake you up out of sleep when the words of the Lord come out. Read on.
And as Paul was long preaching, he sunk down with sleep.
It said he sunk down. When you sink, 9 times out of 10, it's a very slow motion, man. They got quicksand. Or you may sink down in a pit. You may sink down in quicksand. And he sunk into a deep sleep. And you got to watch your spirit to make sure you're not sinking. Because if you watch TV, you look up, you eat, you take a shower, you watch a TV show, you sinking and you don't even know it. You didn't read yet. You didn't pray half the day. You didn't do all the things that you written down on your schedule. You're not occupied in prophecy. All you're doing is just sinking and you don't really perceive it through the spirit. Now, if you were to just fall in a matter of seconds, it might wake you up out of sleep. But when you start to slink, it happens so slowly you don't perceive it unless you're watching. Read on.
He sunk down with sleep and fell down from the 3rd loft and was taken up dead.
Right, I got one more. Go to the mighty book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse number 8. So the Lord would depart from you, man. We keep reading it over and over.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 8. Be thou instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from thee.
Lest what?
Lest my soul depart from
The
thee.
Lord said, be instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from thee, man. So if you're not wanting to be instructed, to be reproved, to be taught, to be led, right, to go over these precepts, to follow Yahweh Shah, our shepherd, the Lord said, look, man, I don't want nothing to do with you. My soul is going to depart from you. Read on.
Lest I make thee desolate, a land not inhabited.
The Lord said, I'm going to strip you and make you desolate. I'm going to take your robe off. I'm going to take your crown off. I'm going to take your mitre off. I'm going to take everything which makes you a priest and make you desolate and depart from you. That's right. That's right, man. Let's go. Hey, the fear of the Lord, man. It all comes down to fearing Yahweh Shai, man. And self-examination, right? Let's go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. So the Lord said, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Let's go to verse 4, Revelation, the 3rd chapter.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 4. Thou hast a few names, even in Sardis, which have not defiled their garments, and they shall walk with me in white, for they are worthy.
So there's a few names that was in that church, man. But not everybody. The Lord is always dealing with the remnant. A small amount. You had a few brothers in there, man, that did not defile their garments. Your garment is symbolic for what? Your spirit, right? Your covering. There's truth. And you defile your garments by what? By being, go to James 1 and 26. By being spotted, man. Right? Some brothers may not even know you got a stain on your garment. Till the brother tell you, man. Some stains and spots you don't see till you come into the light, man. Right? Bring that up.
James chapter 1 and verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man religion is vain.
Right?
Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and the Father is this:
That's how you stay undefiled.
to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction,
Right?
and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
To do what?
To keep himself unspotted from the world.
So the world is going to spot your garment and defile your garment as stains of sin and lust and temptation and all manner of folly and lewdness, man. Right? You can't stain your garment up, man. Right? You have to keep your garment clean and holy, man. Do not defile your garment. Right? So go on to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. And keep your garment on, man. Right? Don't take your garment off when you're not around brothers, man. I'm done, man. Gabar, you Judah Gabar amongst brothers, man. Right? But you damn old dog, man. Soon as cap go over. And one quick thing, the brother that was working out, you know, I had seen him at Home Depot one day. He said, Shalom. I turned around, he had no fringes on. I said, brother, where your fringes at? He said, nah, I was just going to the store real fast. See that? Right? So you can't be Judah Gabar and then be a damn old dog, man. Right back in the world. You have to keep your garment on 24/7. Right? So go to that Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels.
Read.
He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
See that? So the Lord says he's going to confess your name. Save that brother right there. And save that sister right there. Yahweh Shah is going to talk to the Father and give an account on what men are going to make it and what men aren't going to make it, man. Right? Go to Exodus 32 and 32 real quick. Go to Exodus 32 and 32. Because your name may be in the book of life already, but it might get blotted out. God forbid any brother's name gets blotted out the book of life, man. Right? It's like a team. I got to cut this guy from the team. Put that big line through it. That big red line. Yeah, we can't use this brother no more. Right? We got to trade this guy. I mean, talking about that now, man. Right now, in the midst of sports, they're talking about who they're going to trade, who's not going to make the roster, who's a cancer to the team, who's not performing the way that they should be performing, who's getting too old. And they're talking about every day. GMs talk about this, man. Owners. Who's going to build a team, who's not going to build. Who they're going to trade if they're in the rebuilding stage, right? The Lord is dealing with that, man. Who's going to be the elect, right? So bring that up.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin,
Right?
and if not,
This is what Moses said. If you don't want to forgive Israel's sins,
blot me, I pray thee, out of the book which thou hast written.
see that? Moses said, if you don't want to blot out their sins, blot me out. That's how much Moses loved his people, right? He put it on the line, man. That's putting your life on the line, really. If you don't want to blot out their sins, Most High, blot me out, man. The Lord could have said, all right, I'll blot you out and still destroy Israel, man. Right? But the Moses stood up as a mediator between the Most High and his people, man, and saved them and put his salvation on the line. That's a heavy thing to do, man. You put your whole self, put the kingdom on the line for a bunch of wicked men, man, who are worshiping false gods. Right? That a lot of brothers, that don't got nothing to do with me. Ooh, man, Most High gonna get up with help. Man, that brother might fall out. Man, you heard what that brother did? Moses said, yeah, I heard what he did, but I want the Most High to forgive him. And if the Most High don't forgive him, hey, look, kill me, man. Blot me out. That's a heavy lot. So Moses knew about the book of life, right? He knew about the book of life with all of these ancient men and their names, right? And all their works and who they were. So if you overcome, the Lord is going to keep your name in that book, that account, or that record. And if you don't overcome, and if you go off, right, at the between now and the day of judgment, the Most High is going to blot your name out, right, out the book of life, right? If the Most High doesn't give you grace and mercy.
Come, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 5, and we can start at verse 1. Right, Jeremiah 5 and verse 1.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, and verse number 1. Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof, if ye can find a man, if there be any that executeth judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon him.
Right, so the Lord is saying, if you go to and fro, then see any man that executed judgment, because the land is void and barren of judgment. Right? When they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans, that's how our people go. They go and they just following all these ways that are just contrary to what the Lord has said. But the Lord said, if you find a man, he'll pardon him of his transgressions. Right? Let's go to let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and start at verse 44. 2nd Esdras 2 and verse 44. Because there's going to be a remnant that's going to put away the ways of this world. Right? It's going to be a huge remnant that's going to be pardoned. Right? But it's a small number according to how many Israelites there truly are, because we're like the sands of the seas, the stars of heaven, right? But there's going to be that remnant that knows the prize is at hand, right? You ever felt something that was it was right there, you could smell it, right? Like the last day of school, right? Remember, you in 7th grade, you got the last week of school, you can smell that summer vacation right there, man. You itching, right? You talking about what you going to do. Yo, we going to hoop from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to play video games, this and that, right? But there's going to be a remnant that's so close they're gonna smell it and they're gonna put off the wickedness of this world and put on the righteousness of the Lord. Well, let's bring that out.
Second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
So they put off that mortal clothing, right? The ways of this world, the things that caused our people to err, they put those off, right?
Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
So the Lord is giving you crowns because you stood stiffly for the Lord. How do you stand stiffly for the Lord? Because you receive the correction that's been cast out from the men of ancient, right? You had Moses giving you warning. You had Joshua. All the prophets gave you warning, right? Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 5 and jump down to verse 3.
Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 3. O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth?
Right.
Thou hast stricken me. It's like thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved.
So the Lord is casting out judgment left and right, but our people don't even realize that this is hell, that this is judgment.
Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction.
So the Lord is saying that the people who don't receive correction are going to receive of the lake of fire. But those who have received and put off that mortal clothing and put on those white garments, you're going to receive eternal life, man. Right? It's no cut cards with the Lord. It's not Uno, man. You can reverse it or draw two. No, it's either a 2 or it's a 4. There ain't no in between. You're not getting 3, right? So you're going to get what you get from the Lord, right? You can finish that off.
They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return.
Right? And that's what the churches were doing once you read Revelations 2, Revelations 3. They all getting rebuked left and right. And if you know, if you can perceive in the spirit, where are those churches getting reproved all over again? Right? Like the brother said, nobody is perfect.
Right.
Nobody is exempt from being, kicked and pushed to the finish line. So you got to receive this correction so that you can receive that crown of life from the Lord. Right? And you can be praised by the ancient men once you receive that crown, because they're going to be right there with you.
Yeah, and a lot of brothers, you expecting the angel to come down and tell you it's time to get right. Right? You expecting angels to knock on your door. What's going on, brother? You're not studying. You're not reading. You're not praying. Right? You're not examining yourself. Right? You're waiting on the Most High to come talk to you from the sky, man. You think you're so high and mighty and special, you're only going to be corrected by Yahweh himself. Right? That's how Christianity is, man. Predominantly the so-called black one. I know what my God said. My God told me. Right? That's like Christianity, man. My God told me what I should and shouldn't do. The Most High warns you through your brothers, man. The Most High could be speaking through any one of us, man. The Lord said that the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. So the Most High could be warning me through Nasha'aya, right? Through Mathamika, through any brother, man. The Most High checked Ba'alim through a what? Through an ass. An ass saw the judgment before this man did, man. Right? So never be too high and mighty to receive correction, man, from anybody, man. Right? So go back to Revelation, right? Chapter 3 and go to verse 7. Right? Revelation chapter 3 and 7.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia.
It's the second church, right? And this chapter, we went through Sardis. Here's Philadelphia. It's not talking about Meek Mill, man. Fresh Prince.
Like the Eagles.
Right? It's not the Eagles, man. Wow, Donovan McNabb. No, this has nothing to do with Donovan McNabb, man. Right? This is Philadelphia out there in modern day Turkey, Asia Minor. Got to clarify, man, because brothers, you want to say something? They call it Philadelphia. Yeah, Philadelphia. It's not Philadelphia. Right? This ancient Philadelphia, what they call the city of brotherly love. Right? So go on.
And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia, right? These things saith he that is holy,
right?
he that is true,
Right?
he that hath the key of David,
He that hath the key of David,
he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth.
meaning go to the book of Job, chapter 12. What does that mean? He hath the key of David, right? First, go to Amos 9 and 10. What is the key used for? To open a door. Or to what? To close a door. You can't open a door if I got the key and I locked it, right? You can't close the door because I got the key and I can open it. So the key is for the house of David, right? And those that are in the house of David are the elect, right? So bring that up. Come.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Right,
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen,
right.
and close up the breaches thereof.
So the Lord is building up the house of David, right? Go on. And he has certain men that are going to be in the house of David, huh? And certain men that are not going to be allowed of the house of David. Go on.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of
The
old.
Lord is going to build it, and the Lord has the key, right? Go to Job chapter 12 and 14, right? Job chapter 12 and 14.
This is the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 14. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again.
The Lord can break your spirit down, and guess what? No matter how much your brother tries to fast with you and build you up, it's never going to happen, right? The Lord can break a house down, right? And you're never going to build it up again, huh? Read.
He shutteth up a man.
What does that mean? He shuts up a man, right? Meaning the Lord is not going to allow wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to come into you anymore, huh? He could block you off from receiving the words of life. Go on.
And there can be no opening.
Right. The Lord said that he can shut you up and there could be no opening. Man. The Most High could completely block you from receiving truth and the Holy Spirit. Or the Lord can open up your mind and allow the Holy Spirit and the wisdom to come in, man. Right? So go back to Revelation chapter 3 where you left off.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name.
Right, meaning you got a VIP list, man, to enter into the kingdom. Right? The Most High has chosen you to enter into the joy of the Lord. Right? That's that open door. The door to lead into the house of David and into the kingdom. Right? And no man can take that away from you. Right? Because you have not denied the name of the Lord. So the Lord has rewarded you. Like the Lord told Ezra. And go to 2 Ezra 8 and 52. Right? This is the same spirit that the Lord told Ezra. Right? And he told Daniel that you're going to stand in your lot. Right? Certain men were already told that they're the elect. They were already told that they were chosen. Right? Go to 2 Ezra 8 and 52.
2 Ezra chapter 8 verse 52. For unto you is a paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready.
Right?
A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom.
Read.
The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten.
Right?
Sorrows are past, and in the end is shewed the treasure of immortality.
Go on.
And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways.
Right. So that's it. The Lord already told Ezra, hey, look, you're good, huh? And between you and me, we good. Don't worry about it. Right? All of the hell and the tribulation coming, you cool, man. Right? You're the elect. The tree of life is for you. You're chosen. Brothers can handle that now, man. I ain't going to camp. Right? I'm good. I'm God. See, I'll be out there when I'm out there, man. I'll check up on y'all. Walk past the brother, Shalom, kings. Right? And then brothers, if they knew about that, they'd be hating on you, man. Brothers, who do you think he is? Why he get to be chosen? Right? Why he this? Right? Brother walk past. Y'all still out here? I'm chosen. Right? I'm the elect, man. Then he looking at y'all, man. Why y'all out there in the rain and in the cold, man? Right? So a lot of brothers couldn't handle that right now, man. They'd be too proud, too high and mighty, man.
Shoot, it was like 7 years ago. It was a brother who used to come out to camp. He said he was King David. Right? I forgot. You remember that, brother? He said he was King David, and he tried to act like everybody underneath him was his servant.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I
brother.
forgot his
that
name.
was like 8 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah. His name Dawood. His name was Dawood. He had a business card. He would give out business cards saying that he was King David.
He would call people out as being the elect.
Yeah, and he would be like, "My son, come here, right? My son, come here. Let me talk to you, my child, right?" And he really believed that, man. And he would talk as if he was impersonating the Lord, man. And certain men would come to him, yes, right? And he would talk to him in the old English, right? What wilt thou, right? So you see that, bro. You might see him walking up and down the harbor sometimes, right? Or what street is that? Not Pratt Street. Maybe Light Street. One of those streets, Baltimore Street, right? He'll have his fringes on. Don't get me wrong. He'll have his beard on, right? And the staff in his hand, but he'll give you that business card. So be mindful of that. Let me get 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 10. So a lot of the men of the Lord knew they was the elect. You got Ezra. Hey, Paul knew he was the elect too. Bring that up, King.
1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 10. And to wait for his son from heaven.
Right. So Paul's talking to the church, saying, and to wait for his son from heaven,
whom he raised from the dead, even Yahushua, which delivered us from the wrath to come.
What Paul say?
Even Yahushua, which delivered us from the wrath to come.
Why did he say which delivered us from the wrath to come? He's already prophesying that he's going to be delivered in the days to come, huh? And he already knew that through the Spirit. He said the same thing in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 17. Bring that out, King.
1 Thessalonians.
So these men were on a different level, man. It wasn't walking around, just it's a mystery. They knew their lots on a deeper level. Moses knew he was in the book of life, right? Paul knew he was going to get beamed up. Ezra knew he was chosen. Bring that up.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air.
Right, so he already knew that. Then we which are alive. So he numbered himself with the men that were going to be beamed up. Right, read on.
And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
So he knew that from the foundation, man. He knew that he was going to forever be with the Lord. And on a deeper level, these men and their spirits, it's no telling what Yahweh shall reveal unto them, man. The mysteries, the secrets. I mean, Abraham was the Lord's friend. He walked with Abraham. So there's a lot of things that our forefathers knew that men don't know now. Because they can't handle it. Come on.
Yeah, we can touch it.
Right.
Let's go to Isaiah chapter 22 and start at verse 20.
Isaiah chapter 22 and verse 20.
Right, going back to the key of David.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and I will clothe him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit thy government into his hands, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah.
Right, so if you look at the lineage in Matthew 21, you got Eliakim, who's actually in that lineage of Yahushua. And the Lord saying he's going to clothe him with a garment and a robe, right?
Verse 22, and the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open.
That's the same thing we just read in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, right?
Verse 23, and I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house. And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house, and the offspring and the issue, all vessels of small quantity, from the vessel of cups, even to all the vessels of flagons. And that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed, and be cut down, and fall, and the burden that was upon it shall be cut off, for the Lord hath spoken.
Right, so that kind of get a little deep right there. We ain't gonna get too deep in it. We'll touch on that on another day. But the man who's gonna have that key is it's Yahushua. So we'll leave it at that. But that was just a precept for Revelation, the 3rd chapter.
And go back to Revelation 3 and 8. Right? Revelation chapter 3 and 8.
Revelation chapter 3 verse 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name.
See that? Now go to Genesis 4 and 7. right? Because the Lord said, I have set before thee an open door, right? Genesis chapter 4 and 7.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
What lies at the door?
Sin lieth at the door.
Sin lieth in the door, right? Sin is ready for you, man, right? Cain was in the house of the Lord, right? With Abel, spiritually, right? But right outside the door is sin. If you want to walk outside the house of the Lord, if you want to hide from the face of the Lord, if you want to leave the father's inheritance and go to a strange land like the prodigal son, sin lies right out the door, man. Right? So you have the option to choose where you want to be. Do you want to be with Yahweh Shemashai, or do you want to leave the house of the Lord and deal directly with sin? Right? Or the Lord can have an open door set before you, a straight path to eternal life, man. And we have that choice every day. That's not just talking to Cain. Every day it's presented to us. If we do well, we'll be accepted. If we don't want to do well, if you don't want to keep the commandments, if it's too burdensome, you don't have to be here, man. That's what the Most High said. You don't have to be here, man. You can go back in the world any day, man. You can go back and be who you used to be, man. But just know that that's going to devour you and rule over you, man. If you don't want me to rule over you, let sin rule over you. It's right outside the door, man. So go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Right?
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 9.
Uh-oh.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews.
Which what?
Which say they are Jews.
Which what?
Which say they are Jews.
Right?
And are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
And we don't have to do an in-depth breakdown of that verse. All right? We don't have to do a 3-hour lesson on what that's talking about. That's talking about Amalek, man. Right. And your enemy bowing down before you. Read on.
Verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come up upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So if you keep the word of his patience and you stay rooted, the Most High is going to keep you from the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation is also known as what? Jacob's trouble. You understand? Go on.
Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Don't let somebody take it.
That no man take thy crown.
Let it fall off your head.
That no man take thy crown.
Forget you had it on.
That no man take thy crown.
You got a crown right now. It's up to you to lose it, man. You can let a woman take your crown. Right? Go to First Ezra, the 4th chapter, or the 3rd chapter. Right? Right? Let's go to First Ezra, the 4th chapter. Come. Start at 29. Start at 28.
First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 28.
Right?
And now do ye not believe me?
Do you not believe me? This was Zerubbabel said. Go on.
Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him?
Right, and where were kings, man? Right, go on.
Yet did I see him, and upon me the king's concubine.
The king's concubine. Sorry.
The daughter of the admirable Spartacus, sitting at the right hand of the king.
He said the king is mighty, but I'm gonna tell you what I saw, man. Because remember, Zerubbabel was always close to the king. He was the king's bodyguard, man. So he saw something. Go on.
And taking the crown from the king's head.
What did this woman do?
And taking the crown from the king's head.
What can these philosophies do?
And taking the crown from the king's head.
You see that? And taking the crown from the king. He saw this woman taking a crown from the king's head. Go on.
And taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head.
What else did she do?
She also struck the king.
She also what?
She also struck the king.
With what?
With her left hand.
No, her right hand.
With her left hand.
It don't even matter, man. Struck her with her left hand. That's that backhand, huh? Wow. Right? Give me that crown. And slapped him, huh? So you got demons and spirits that can do that to you. Take the crown from your head and then beat you, man. Read on.
And yet for all this.
Yet for all, you got to think about this spiritually, man. Think about a demon, a lust demon, a disobedient demon, a slothful spirit, taking a crown from your head and beating you down. And yet for all this,
the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth.
What is that also called spiritually? A reprobate mind. A reprobate mind. Woman, take your crown. That's like your woman. She just take your check from you, man. Give me this, man.
Punch you in the chest.
Yeah, punch you in the chest and in the mouth, man. Right? Take a picture. You know they got the app. You can kind of take a picture, and it goes straight to her account, man. She give you $10 for the 2 weeks and say, guess what? It is what it is. Don't blow it fast.
Wow.
Right? And you sit up there trying to figure out what to do with the $10. You got 5, you got to put in the tank. And the other 5, you trying to figure out what you can do with it, man. Yeah, he sit up there confounded, and she next thing you know, she in Panama, man, with the girlfriends, girls trip, right?
That's from the Jetsons.
Oh, okay, yeah, yep. She would try to give him. He would his name George.
Yeah.
He would give her the dollar, and she say hell no, and she took the damn wallet from him, man. And George Jetson, I think that was his name. Wait, what did he do about it? Oh, he dropped Astro off, man. Not Elroy. That was named Elroy, man. He dropped Elroy off at school, man.
He got bullied by his boss.
That's right, man. Got abused, man. So you can't have that spirit, letting people just take the crown off your head, man. Every day I can't find my crown. What did I do with it? Damn, did I lose? You lose your crown like you lose your wallet, man. Right? Keep the crown on your head. That's what's going to lead you to salvation. So read on in Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Actually, read 11 again. A lot of brothers let their family take their crown. Oh, they pressured me to Thanksgiving. I didn't want to make auntie upset. She said she was giving me a small slice of turkey. It wasn't a big one. Just a small slice. All right? And you go there, they already got your plate made.
Right.
And you can't say no, you don't want to upset granny, man. Grandma sitting there. Pressure, baby, you need to eat. Your uncle in there, let me get you a plate. The whole house come to make you a plate, man. And they give you the plate, they sitting there watching. Go ahead, try it.
Plate full of ham.
Yeah, plate full of ham, man. You've been in this troop 4 years. You want to stop by to see the family.
Crazy.
Right? Well, all right. You take your little plastic white knife, butter knife they get you, right? Cut the styrofoam a little bit just to get to the ham. You pick it up with your little fork. Granny's watching you. You never want to make granny, man. You've always been granny's boy, right? You've always been there for her, and she's always been there for you, right? So you take that, you mix it with your mashed potatoes, and you eat it, man, right? Then granny just peels off, man, and slams the door shut. With your crown says, it is what it is.
Right.
And everybody in the house leaves. Oh, time to go. You're sitting there with a plate full of pork, man.
She ain't walking years.
Right, she ain't walking in. She got up and sped out the room. That was a demon, man. Right? Or you sit up there, you reading, and you're in the middle of a fast, and your old woman hit you up, man. Keisha, Tammy, they both hit you up at the same time. And Tamika, man. Right? Keisha, Tammy, and Tamika hit you up from 2000 and God knows where, man. 1990, God knows when. And wow, I was thinking about you. Right? I'm in town. I've heard about this truth. Shalom. Right? Wow, she must know about the truth. She said, Shalom. Can we meet up? Can we go over the book of Genesis? Right? The 4th chapter. What does that mean? Right? And then you replying, then you hitting her up. Now y'all built a rapport, man. Right? Now you ducking off, hiding. Right? You in the bathroom. Right? Running the shower water. Shalom. Cover up your voice, man. And then you let Tamika invite you over, man. Right? Now you over Tamika's house. She answered the door. She got a robe on. Right? Oh, we just going to go over the scriptures. Don't worry, we just going over the scriptures. Okay, all right, okay. She gave you some strong. You want something to drink? She pour you some Hennessy. Just take a shot in the name of the Lord. Well, it is in the name of the Lord. Right. Then next thing you know, man, you got 2 wives. Right? Trying to hide your wives from meeting each other. You all caught up, man. Then you fall out the truth, man. Because you was dealing with Tammy and Tamika. Don't let nobody take your crown, man. Right? Don't let Instagram take your crown. Don't let social media take your crown. Don't let no man take your crown, man. Right? Read that one more time, Revelation 3 and 11.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11.
Right?
Behold, I come quickly.
What the Lord say?
Behold, I come quickly.
Right?
Hold that fast which thou hast,
Meaning don't let it go. Don't let this truth grow, man. Read.
that no man take thy crown.
Read.
Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name.
Right? What does that mean? I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. What are pillars used for? To hold up a building, for support, and for strength. So within a city in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be one of the men to uphold the kingdom and the government of the Lord, ruling as one of the men of the elect. Right? Go to Galatians real quick. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to Galatians, the second chapter. Right? Let's go to Galatians chapter 2, and we can start at verse 9.
Galatians chapter 2 and verse 9.
Right?
And when James, Cephas, and John,
James, Cephas, and John, top apostles.
who seemed to be pillars,
Who what?
who seemed to be pillars,
Paul could recognize that these men are running things. They are the pillars of the church. They're upholding the church through structure, prayer, and fasting. Right? Go on.
perceived the grace that was given unto me.
They did what?
They gave to me and Barnabas the right hands of fellowship, that we should go unto the heathen, and they unto the circumcision.
Go on.
Only they would that we should remember the poor, the same which I also was forward to do.
So that's what a pillar is. A pillar is a strong foundation and support in the kingdom of heaven. Let's get another precept. Go to Isaiah, the 19th chapter. Right? The Lord said there would be an altar and a pillar. Right? In Isaiah chapter 19. Right? Let's go to Isaiah 19 and we can start at verse 18.
Isaiah chapter 19 and
We
verse
get straight. Go to 19.
and verse 19. In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar,
And the what?
and a pillar,
And the what?
and a pillar
Right?
at the border thereof to the Lord.
Who's the altar and the pillar? Not Yahweh Shai. We are the elect. We are the altar and we are the pillar, man. Right? We are the temple. We are the building. So all throughout the Bible, you see that men are referred to as pillars. A wife is referred to as a pillar. He that getteth the wife getteth the possession. Right? A pillar of rest. You understand? To uphold the man. So all throughout the Bible, you see that similitude between a man and a pillar, or a man and a stone. So if you overcome, go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. What does the Most High have in store for you? Read that verse again.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar.
Will I make a nigga?
Will I make a pillar
Right?
in the temple of my God.
So you're going to be in the government of the Lord, man. You're not going to be a nobody. You're going to be a somebody in the kingdom, man. Right? Read.
And he shall go no more out.
What does that mean? He should go no more out. Right? Out the spirit, out the truth. Right? You'll be in this thing and you'll remain in this thing, man. You won't sin anymore. You have the laws in your inward parts. You won't go off anymore because you're going to have that spiritual immortal body. Right now, we can go out. Right? Sin left at the door and we can leave right now if we fall out, man. We can go back into the world. We can leave the house of the Lord. We can drift off and go back into darkness with weeping and gnashing of teeth, man. Right? Real quick, let's go to Luke, the 15th chapter. Right? See if I want to get this precept real quick. Right? Go to Luke chapter 15 and verse. See if this is what I want. Right? Bear with me. Salakia. Okay, this is not what I want. Right? It's a decent precept, but that's not what I want. Right? Actually, go to Luke. We'll read it. Luke 15 and 24.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 24. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be married.
Right?
Now his elder son was in the field, And as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing.
What's going on in the house?
Music and dancing.
So the father's house is where the younger son was, man. And the father's house represents this truth. We have spiritual music, you have mirth, you have joy in the Lord, you have dancing. Outside the house of the Lord is darkness. That's why all throughout the Bible, the Lord says, cast you into what? Into darkness. And there should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Go to Matthew the 22nd chapter. Right? The Lord said they would cast a man who did not have the wedding garment on out the house of the Lord, man. Matthew 22 and verse 12.
Matthew chapter 22 and verse 12. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
Why are you in the house of the Lord without your garment on? Right? What are you doing sinning, knowing that you're an Israelite? Read.
Then said the king to the servant, Bind him hand and foot.
That's bound you up with demons. Go on.
And take him away and cast him into outer darkness.
Like the Fresh Prince, man. Right? The Lord did that. The Lord went to Jeffrey a lot of brothers, man. Not Jeffrey. Jazzy Jeff. Right? The Lord going to Jazzy Jeff a lot of brothers, man. The angel's going to be Uncle Phil, and you're going to be in the house. The Lord going to switch the camera panel. You're going to be cast out, man, into outer darkness. Right? So the Most High said that he should go no more out. The Lord's going to seal you in the house, and you'll never be able to leave again, man, as a pillar of the Lord. So let's go back to Revelation chapter 3. All right, that's what it means he shall go no more out.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 12, reading on. And I will write upon him the name of my God.
Does that mean you're going to get a tattoo in the kingdom? The Lord not going to tat us up. I heard a brother say, well, we all going to get tattoos in the kingdom anyway. And he went to two precepts. He went to one where the Lord had a thigh tattoo. He had on his thigh a name written, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That's not a thigh tattoo, man. That is not what that's talking about. Why would the Lord have a thigh tat? Only on his thigh. And then they said, well, look, in Revelation 3, the Lord going to write upon us his name. There was a brother who actually had the name of the Lord tatted on him. All the brothers remember that. He had the name of the Lord tatted on his arm, man. Is he still the truth? I don't know. Right? Fresh ink. Right? He still had it kind of wrapped up and was kind of itching a little bit. So he was going off. Right? What does that mean? When you write, brothers ever, let's break it down. Brothers ever see a building, right? An old building. What does it say like on the bottom of the building? No, like an actual building. It might say erected or built 1955. It might have who named that building. Built by John Smith, 1923 AD. You see that in old churches, they would do that. Yeah, like an old brick or a plaque, and it's really inscribed in the building, which means that that person who built it owns that building, and whatever's in that building is in that person's name. So when the Lord writes upon you a new name, it's not literal. The Lord is saying you're a pillar. He's going to inscribe his name upon you, put his spirit on you, right? The spirit of truth and holiness is going to be embedded on the elect. It's not an actual tattoo, right? They would do that in the ancient world. They would have stones and things named after people. Solomon had two pillars in his kingdom. Brothers remembered it, and they had two names. One was named Boaz, and the other, let's go to that. Let's go to that precept real quick. If I can get that real quick. Right? So that's not an uncommon thing. 1 Kings chapter 7 and 21.
1 Kings chapter 7 and verse 21.
Right? That's why you have to go through the precepts.
And he set up the pillars.
He did what?
And he set up the pillars.
And we're going into pillars right now. So Solomon had pillars in the house of the Lord. Right? Go on.
In the porch of the temple.
Right?
And he set up the right pillar.
He set up the right pillar.
And called the name thereof
Jachin.
Can
a brother pull up that name? Right? Go on.
And he set up the left pillar and called the name thereof Boaz.
Right. Read.
And upon the top of the pillars was lily work. And so was the work of the pillars finished.
So was the work of the pillars finished. The Lord is still shaping and molding the pillars right now. But in the kingdom, those pillars are going to be built. Brothers understand that? They're going to be completed. There were two names of these pillars. The one was Jachin, right? Now, if you look it up, and the concordance is H3199, right? And it means he will establish, right? He will establish. That's one of the names of the pillars. The other name was Boaz, right? Let's pull that up, right? Let's go into that, right? So, like, Boaz, it reads fleetness, right? So he will establish, and the other one was named fleetness. So these are the two names of the pillars. Solomon named those things, man. But the Lord is going to name us. After whose name? After his name. So meaning what? We're going to be molded in the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Not in your own image, not in your own mind, not in your own spirit, but after the spirit of the Lord. Brothers understand that? All right, let's go back to Revelation 3. Let's read 12 one more time.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
Right?
And he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God.
Same thing as the Father's name written in your foreheads. That's the exact same thing in Revelation, the 14th chapter. Same thing of mystery, Babylon the Great, written in the name of the great whore. Whenever somebody writes their name upon you, you take on that spirit and you belong to that person. Read on.
And the name of the city of my God.
Right, you're going to be numbered amongst the elect.
Which is New Jerusalem.
Right.
Which cometh down out of heaven from my God.
Right.
And I will write upon him my new name.
Now, that's not talking about Yahweh Shah is going to change his name. Go to Hebrews 13:8. Right? Because a lot of, the Lord's name is Yahweh Shah, but then in the kingdom it's going to be Kevin. No! The Lord isn't going to just change his name, man. Right? Bring that up.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 8. Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever.
No, not forever.
And forever.
Yeah, you can't forget that forever part, man. A lot of brothers say he was the same yesterday and today, but then he's going to change. That makes no sense. Now, this word new doesn't always mean new, right? The word new in the Greek is what word brothers know, kainos, right? Which means refreshed, restarted, right? That's what that word means. So the Lord is going to essentially start you fresh, give you back over to the spirit that he created you for, man. Right? Not with the flesh and sin that we have now. Remember, we were made after the image of the Most High's eternity, man. We were made to be immortal. You're going to go back to that estate, that refreshed estate. That's your the new name, right? Go to Wisdom of Solomon 2:23, right? Doesn't mean the Lord's going to write upon you his actual new name, right? Bring that up.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 23. For the Most High created man to be immortal.
No, to go off.
To be immortal.
Right, read.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
So we were made to be perfect. We were made to live forever. We're going to go back to that estate. Like the Lord said, the angels which kept not their first estate. We're going to go back to that heavenly estate. Those glorified bodies, man, that the Lord has given us from the foundation of the world. So read on in Revelation 3:13.
Revelation 3 verse 13. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
Right.
And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, write.
It's the third church.
These things saith the Amen, the faithful and the true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High.
Read.
I know thy works.
I know what?
I know thy works.
Every brother know this scripture, man. I know thy works.
That thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
There's only two ways in this thing. Either on fire or you frozen. Either cold or you hot. It's either hot tea or iced tea. Hot coffee or iced coffee. No brother want no room temperature coffee, though. Right? Let me get the room temperature kind. Right? Let me get some room temperature tea. No, man, that's not how this thing goes, man. The Lord is going to fulfill your works and see what spirit you're in. Now, if you lukewarm, you meaning you're straddling the fence. Some days you read, some days you're in the world. Right? Some days you watching God knows what, some days you watching breakdowns. right? Some days you do the diligence, some days you do the slothfulness, man. So you want to see what kind of spirit you in, man. Right? Go to 2 Kings, right? We brought this out earlier, chapter 10 and 16. Right? You have to see what kind of zeal you're in, man. 2 Kings, chapter 10 and 16. Because the Lord knows your works, man. Bring that up.
2 Kings chapter 10, verse 16. And he said, come with me.
Come with who?
Come with me.
That's what Jehu said. And what?
And see my zeal.
And see my what?
And see my zeal.
And see my slothfulness.
And see my
And see
zeal.
my empty notebook.
And see my
My
zeal.
Bible's not highlighted.
And see my
I
zeal.
don't have no flashcards.
And see my zeal.
Haven't been to camp.
And see my zeal.
And see my zeal. Read
For the Lord.
for the Lord, man. Now, can you confidently ask the brother, come with me and see my zeal? What are you going to show him? What do you have to show this brother? If every one of us have to say, come with me and see my zeal, what is he going to see? And what do you have to prove to show that you have been zealous, man? What is he going to see, man? A dirty house? Right? Your woman out of order? Right? Your children out of order? Right? An empty notebook? Right? You go in your history. What is he going to see in your history, man? Right? The last 10 things you looked at, what is going to be there, man? What is he going to see? They used to have that TV show, Room Raiders. Brothers remember that? Brothers remember Room Raiders? Right? They would go all up, they would go all through your stuff, man. They'd be opening your drawers, right? Seeing what kind of person you was, man. They were in your house, flipping up cabinets, right? Looking under your bed. And then they would make the decision, nah, you see what's in this person. I don't even have to meet this person. I see what's in a house. I know what they about, man. So that's how it is in this truth, man. The Lord see what's in your spirit, man. Right? If you invited a brother to your house, what is he going to see, man? What's in your refrigerator, man? Right? What's on the walls, man? What's the writing on the walls, how they say? What type of spirit is in that house, man? Do you walk into a spirit, a bunch of Negroes sitting on the couch, man? Strange guys rolling a blunt, man? Or they just crashed here. They just my in-laws. They don't bother me none. I just go in my room, close the door. Right? What type of spirit is there, man? Read that again in 2 Kings 10 and 16.
2 Kings chapter 10, verse 16.
Right?
And he said, come with me and see my zeal for the Lord.
And Jehu had zeal. Jehu had mighty zeal. He slew all of the he slew Jezebel, wicked kings. Did he kill 2 kings? Killed Amaziah, I think, and Jeram, and Jezebel, and all of the false prophets of Baal, and those who serve Baal, man. He killed many, but he was zealous, man. He killed hundreds of people in the name of Yahweh Bashai, man. That's the spirit that we want to be in. We want to have zeal. Can a brother put a definition of zeal? Baba Kasha. Right? You want to have zeal. And that shows the joy of the Lord, man. Right? Let's pull up the definition of zeal, Baba Kasha. And can a brother pull it in the Greek as well? What you got, Gabar?
This is from the Etymology Online Dictionary. Zeal, passionate ardor.
Hold on, what did it say?
Passionate ardor.
You gotta be passionate about this truth. You see people arguing, they raising their voice. I'm not arguing. I'm just passionate. Right? Go on.
In pursuit of an objective or course of action.
Right?
Adore, eager, emulation, a noble passion.
A noble passion. Are you passionate about the truth? Right here is zealous. Showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or objective. Right? When you're enthusiastic, you geek, man. You excited, man. You on the edge of your seat. Oh, I can't wait to go to camp, man. You speeding and you cut somebody. You ain't mean to cut somebody off. You're just so passionate, man. You didn't really stop on that stop sign. Kind of roll through it, right? Because you got to get to camp. You studying. Man, I love the scriptures, man. I'm reading. Man, I got to stay up, man. I'm going to stay up 5 more minutes, man. I know I just got to get one more chapter. What's going to happen next, man? I need to see. I read Isaiah 36. What about Isaiah 37? Right? What's going to happen in 37? You go to sleep, tossing and turning. Oh, no, what's going on? You got to wake up. Wake up in the middle of the night, turn on the light. Got to read Isaiah 37. That's a zeal, right? Not, I'm going to just kind of read 3 verses. Hezekiah, he ain't really. What about him? I'm not really too great about this guy. I mean, I'm done with that. You just flipping through. What am I going to read today? Some brothers do this. What am I going to do today? Psalm 73. No, you can't do that, man. You can't just close your eyes and toss and turn, man. Just go wherever the wind take you. Read. You gotta have a plan to action, man. Right? You gotta have a zeal, man. Okay, I can't wait to finish Judith, man. Then I'm gonna hop into this scripture. That's enthusiasm, man. Right, man? Camp start, man. I gotta go to camp, man. There's sheep out there. Gotta seal the elect, man. No brothers that polish their boots. Right? Getting the apocrypha, fresh Bibles, right? Fresh garment, right? Studying the scriptures. Man, I can't wait to teach. This is gonna be a good precept, man. This is gonna wake them up right here, man. Right? Yeah, I can't wait to bring this one out. I want to teach. I want to read. Then you got a brother. Oh, camp, man. What's the point of camp, really? I mean, we just do like we talked about yesterday. A brother said a clubhouse room. Let's do a clubhouse room. It's cloudy out. Oh, yuck. Right? That's an effeminate spirit. Right. Some of this is yucky outside, man. This spirit got me, right? Now you can't have that spirit, man. You got to be zealous in this truth, right? Can we read that again? Oh, see that? Right? Definition of zealous: showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. Now, here's 3 synonyms: fiery, impassioned, committed, eager, energetic, like a child that want to go to the playground. He geek, man. Or for some ice cream. That's what my child get for some ice cream, man. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. It be jumping up and down, man. They don't want to hear no. They don't want to hear later. They don't want to hear okay after. They don't want to hear that. You say ice cream, they go crazy, man. You whisper it. And we gotta spell words, man. You know, you gotta spell certain words. You know what I'm saying? Because if they hear it, it's over. And you gotta speak in what they call pig Latin, man. We actually do that, man. So and so and so and so. You gotta kind of hide words. That's how you gotta be for the scriptures. Can't say camp around this brother, man. Camp, right? Y'all want to do an overtime camp? Oh, yeah, okay, bro. Let's do an overtime camp, man. So certain words you got you want to be that brother where you can't say righteous words around that brother because he's gonna be so damn zealous about it, man. There's a brother that said, I'm thinking about doing a 24-hour Day of Atonement camp. I told the brother, no, brother. You don't do a 24-hour Day of Atonement camp, brother. That's too much zeal. Brothers ain't going to endure that, man. Right? That's too much going on, man. Then the brother said, we're not shutting the camp down. He was in a busy city. One of the major cities, right? On the earth. And the brother said, we're not shutting camp down till everybody leaves. Oh, brother, you in the busiest city, man. It's never going to shut down. So they can play, brother, come on, you got to have some, brother, come on now. Your zeal is overriding your wisdom at times, man. So you want to have some zeal for the Most High, man. Right? So let's go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. You got to be energetic about this thing, man. Like brothers be saying, when brothers can't make it to camp or they late, put a spirit on you, man. It's like a weird sensation. It's hard to describe.
You out of whack.
Yeah, you out of whack. And we get irritable, man. Right? You get real, like, irritable and antsy, man. And I would imagine that's how fiends feel when they don't get their fix. Go to 1 Corinthians 16 and 15. I would imagine they start getting real, I got to smoke my cigarette. They get angry out of nowhere. They got a spirit on them, man. And they start twitching. Like they had the Snickers commercial, man. You're not you when you're hungry. Right. Certain brothers aren't them when they're not reading. When they're not at camp. They're not themselves. They got an attitude till they get to camp. I ain't mean that. Salaki, I ain't mean to text you. I hate you. All right? What you got, brother?
Con, this the Strong's Concordance, right? H7068.
That's for Zeal?
For Zeal.
Con.
One of the words is jealousy, resulting in the wrath of God.
You see that? You gotta have that spirit for wisdom, man.
That's Phineas.
Right? That's Phineas Spirit. That's right, man. And the Lord loved Phineas Zeal and Mattathias.
Wow.
Those men had zeal, man. Bring that out, King Baba Kashab.
You said 1 Corinthians 16, 15.
First, come.
1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 15. I beseech you, brethren, ye know the house of Stephanus, that it is the first fruits of Achaia, and that they have addicted themselves.
They have what?
That they have addicted themselves.
They have what?
That they have addicted themselves.
They was addicted to what?
To the ministry of the saints.
They was addicted, fiending. Gotta teach. Gotta read. Gotta go out and deal with the saints. Brother seen addicts, man. Right? I could stop anytime I want to. I can quit anytime. It's not this easy. Right? You gotta be an addict for this truth, man. And you have to admit it. Look, yeah, my name is so-and-so and I am an addict. That's the first step, man. You have to admit that you're an addict. I need help. Right? I am an addict. You have to ask yourself, are you an addict, man? Of this truth, you got to clarify. They'll chop the video up, man. Chop and screw, man. All right, I call them brothers, they some addicts, man. I already knew them brothers sold out. All right. We're supposed to be addicts. Let's get one more definition. We wind it down. Can we pull up the word addict? Addiction. Okay. Which one? Oh, you want to do it in Greek? Oh, this it right here? Yeah. Okay, come. So here's the word addict in the Greek, right? It reads, addicted. Okay, come. It says to, it's not the best one, but it says to put in order, to station, to appoint neutrally. Let me go to let's get another definition. Salaki. Addict, addiction. I'm gonna do addict. Oh, you got one?
I got the etymology.
All right, bring it up.
This is the etymology to addict. It says to devote or give up oneself to a habit or occupation.
You see that? You got work addicts, man. You brothers work with them work addicts, man. Like the brother went into yesterday, they may not have any work, and you got people that get mad, man. They don't have no work for us, man. They always do. I'm gonna quit. They want to quit because they can't work. Hey, I know somebody he come in at 5 a.m, he leave 5 p.m, every day, and he don't get up out his seat. You got people that's addicted to video games. One guy made a toilet. He made like a bucket where so he don't ever have to get up. So he put a hole in his chair, and he had something where he used the bathroom, so he would never leave. Right? He was playing Fortnite. Right? He would never leave or call one of those games, man. They don't shower. They don't shower. They order pizza. They leave the door unlocked. Just drop it off right there. And they playing the video games, man. Take the money. Yeah, they just take the money. They don't get up, man. Right? They might reach, grab a slice of pizza. They talking with the headphones on. They playing the game 3 days straight, man. Forgot what hour it was. Don't sleep. You got people that do that, man. So you got these. There's another addict called hoarders. Brother seen hoarders, right? Damn house falling apart. It's feces and mice and vomit, and you try to take something from them, they break down, man. Don't throw that away, right? Don't take that away. I need that. So they're hoarding up. They're addicted, man. You want to be addicted to this truth, right? Addicted to this truth. So when you're not reading, you might be watching the video. If you're not watching the video, you might be studying, right? You're not studying, you might be meditating. You might not be meditating, you might be at camp. You're not at camp, you're teaching your family. Now, of course, you're going to have your downtime because much study is awareness of the flesh. But that's few and not sometimes, man, to addicts. So you have to ask yourself, are you an addict for the truth? Let's go back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter, right? Read verse 16.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 16.
Every brother should strive to be an addict of the truth. Of the truth. Right? Be the house of Stephanus. Bring that up.
Revelation 3 and 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
So you got to be an addict, man. Read.
because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked.
Now you got brothers that think they well off, right? But really, you're not off, man. You're going off, right? You're really falling out the truth, man. I'm cool. I don't need nothing. We see people like that in the world all the time. The 9 to 5 demon.
Right.
The 9 to 5 demon thought he had it made.
Right.
He got daycares,
Right.
right? He put people on,
Right.
right? He don't get tax exempt, right? He had everything worked out for him, right? But he was really miserable because he didn't have the truth. He was really blind because he couldn't see what the brother Azariah and the men of the Lord were breaking down to him. He was poor. He had carnal riches. He didn't have spiritual riches. And he was damn sure was naked out there in a freezing cold without the garment of the Lord upon him. Right? And that's how it is in the truth. You got to check yourself sometimes, man. So what did the Lord say? Read on.
Verse 18, I counsel thee
So here's the counsel of Yahweh.
to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
Right? So these are the things you have to buy. Right? So when you're poor, you have to buy gold tried in the fire. This isn't literal. We're going to go into it. Go on.
That thou mayest be rich and white raiment.
And you got to buy a garment. Right? Go on.
That thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
What else?
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
So these are the things that you need in this truth, man. The Lord said, I counsel thee to buy me gold tried in the fire and white raiment. So you have to purify your spirit and put a garment on, man. Right? Make sure you buy your white garment. Make sure and it's not literal. Where do you buy your garment from?
The scriptures.
From the scriptures, man. Right? The house of the Lord or the house of learning. Right? And it's one size fits all, man. Right? Anybody could buy this garment, man. Right? What do you give in exchange for this garment? What do brothers say? What do you give in exchange? You can't give dollar bills.
I mean, it'd be like your life.
Give your life. What else?
Your
Time, repentance,
Right.
a humble spirit,
Right.
a contrite heart.
Right.
Right? This is the money that you got to give to the Most High. And in exchange, he'll give you that white garment. Right? So go on. Oh, and the eye salve. It's not talking about them eye drops. The eye salve is really going into an ointment to open up your eyes, your spiritual eyes. Go to Ephesians 1 and 12, I believe. Right? Because you got two sets of eyes, according to the Bible. Go to Ephesians 1 and 12.
Ephesians
1 and 18, Salaki.
Ephesians 1 and 18. The eyes of your understanding.
No, your carnal eyes.
The eyes of your understanding.
So those are the true eyes. They have to be open. The eyes of your understanding. That's why people get all bugged out with that third eye spirit. Right? Your pineal gland. Right? You got to see through the third eye. Right? No, it's the true eye is the eye of your understanding. That has to be open. Go on.
Being enlightened,
that
ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints.
You see that? So that's the eye. You need that ointment, which is that eye salve to cure you of blindness. Right? Tobit had an ointment, right? And they had to put something on his eyes from the fish. And they would open up his eyes. Now the spiritual eye salve is what? This truth. Right? Through repentance. Put upon your eyes and you can cure blindness. We cure many people through the spirit of blindness, man. More than your local doctor, more than your local surgeon, more than your local ophthalmologist, or what they call them, man. And they do laser eye surgery, and you're paying $10,000 for it, man. Just come to the service of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. You don't have to go to CVS, Walgreens, drive-through, prescriptions in that nasty brown bag with 50 side effects, man. You don't need contacts and they call it LASIK eye surgery, man. All you need is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, you'll see. Right? So read on in Revelation, the 3rd chapter.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 19. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous therefore.
Be what?
Be zealous therefore.
Be slothful.
Be zealous therefore.
Like Amos 1 and 2. This is a beautiful warning right here, man. It's the Lord checking you. Sometimes you got Isaiah checking you, Jeremiah get on you. Now Yahweh Shah is getting on you. Last book of the Bible. If you don't get with it now, I don't know what's going to happen, man. right? He's summing it up. There's no greater warning than these epistles in Revelation, huh? Or these chapters. Read that again in 19.
Revelation 3 and 19. As many as I love, I rebuke and
So if
chasten.
the Lord loves you, he's going to correct you, huh? Right? Go on.
Be zealous therefore and
You
repent.
got to be zealous and repent. And zeal is something that brothers should pray for. Fast for, man. For a fire in his truth. Keep that fire burning. Read.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
So you're the house and the door is your mind. So if you allow the Lord in, he'll come into you and feed you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's the same thing in Song of Solomon. Chapter 5, I sleep, but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. All right, bring that up real quick. Bible to show. I believe that's 5 and 2. 5 and 4. Let's see. All right, let's bring that up. Right, I sleep, but my heart waketh.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter
2.
5 and verse 2.
Right?
I sleep,
What?
I sleep,
Meaning you're in the world, in darkness, blind. Go on.
but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night.
What is the dew and the drops of the night? It's true. Likened unto what? Water. The living water. See, some people get mad when somebody come in your house and they was in the rain all night and the waters. Take your jacket off. Take the umbrella, shake it off. No, not with Yahweh Shai, man. Let the Lord come in, man. Because he's giving you living water. The Lord is the only one that can come in your house soaking wet from the third heavens. And the word heavens actually means waters. Right? Mayim is waters. So if the Shemayim, right? Pertaining to the water. So let the Lord come in drenched, man. And come into your house and flood it with living water and take his table out, set it up, put the thing on you, man. The bib, put the bib on. Let the Lord bib you, man. Right? Let him put the bib on you. And then give you the nice silverware, he roll it up, right? Give you that, and he take it. See, the Lord is different, man. Because in the law, you're supposed to treat a stranger. So when they come into your house, you're supposed to take care of them. The Lord coming into your house, he take care of you, right? He coming to your house and he ready to feed you, man. How many brothers actually do that? They go to a brother's house and they set up a table and they just throw a feast for that brother in his own house, man. Oh, yeah, you wish it. Brothers don't love brothers like that, right? They bring all in. I'm on my way up. You got lamb and you got the wine and you move the brother furniture around. You bring an expensive table. You tell that brother sit down, man. Right? Where your knives and what a seasoning that? That's right up there, that cabinet right there. Right? Well, what did he start doing? The dishes. He come in your house and treat you, man. Do your dishes, man. Clean your refrigerator out. Sweep the floor. He says, you bet not leave, man, till you eat. And the brother throw down, man. Then he pack his stuff back up, put it in the bag, and then he roll out. And everything good. Just open the door, man. You can get that 5-star treatment if you open the door. It's like you got a hotel and you got room service, but you never use it, man. I'm hungry. Well, brother, room service is knocking at the door, man. You got free breakfast, lunch, and just open the door. That's how it is in this truth, man. The Lord is knocking. And he's knocking through the men of the Lord out in the highways and byways. All you gotta do is stop by, man. Let the Lord come in and sup with you and feed you. So go back to that in Revelation 3.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse
20.
Read verse 20 again. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice,
Right? Go on.
and open the door,
Right? Meaning open up your mind to receive the truth.
I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
So the Lord's going to sup with you and feed you, man. A date, right? In righteousness. Go on.
Verse 21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne.
Right? Meaning the Lord's going to give you the kingdom. Go on.
He that hath an ear, let him hear.
What the Lord say?
He that hath an ear, let him hear.
Right?
What the Spirit saith unto the churches.
So you have to have ears to hear, to receive what Yahweh Shai is giving you, man. You can't let it go in one ear and out the other. You can't turn a blind eye to it. You can't just say, there was 22 chapters, but I only like verse 5. I don't like those other ones, man. That's wicked, man. Right? Or you take your black highlighter and you highlight everything in black, except verse 9, right? About the so-called white man bowing down to you. That's the only one you hone in on, man. You got to hone in this whole chapter, man. So with that, Kwam Yashem.
Kwam Yashem.
Shalom.
Shalom.